I am Kristen Coletti. Sorry, it's still kind of weird saying that. I have been married for about 3 years now, and I still am not used to it. I am an intuitive hairstylist. I go by the handle Krista's Beauty, but I've just recently founded Mercury Ascending, my hairstyling, intuitive, and astrology oracle sort of business that I have ventured into. I, with that, am trying to venture into new things like this podcast. Um, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing with it, but the point of the podcast is I want it to be about healing. I think that's something since 2020 that we all need to have honest dialogue about. And I just wanted to create this to put my vulnerabilities out there and let people know that they're not alone. And honestly, I kind of just need a place that I can go to in my own life that is safe, basically. I want to create my own safe place for me to almost like a video diary, if you will, of what a real healing journey looks like. My goal has always been to be a better person every day, but I also want to hold myself accountable, and I feel like opening this dialogue and trying to make it as authentic as possible, I think we could really bring awareness to something and probably help me on my own healing journey. So that's the basic. I hope that makes sense. It is Mercury retrograde, so communication and all tongue-tied. It's very hard to get it, especially because it's Mercury retrograde in Cancer. So emotions are very high, especially intense, big emotions are very high. So, but at the same time, so my business, Mercury Ascending, it's called that because my birth chart is ruled, my rising is Gemini, and the planet ruling Gemini is Mercury, therefore Mercury Ascending is literally what I am. My ascending is in Mercury, in Gemini. And with that, it's very deliberate too. It's not Mercury Ascendant, it's Mercury Ascending, because eventually I want to get to a point where it is Mercury Ascendant, if that makes sense. Kind of a play on, because this is me growing still. And I'll probably, who knows, maybe it'll always be this way. I'll always be growing, but maybe I'll get to a point where I feel I've earned that ascendant phrase, if that makes sense. But all of this to say, that's the basic who I am, why I want to start this. So to set up the stage, let me check this real quick.
Okay, so I'm going to test Gemini.
I hit 10,000 followers way faster than I ever would have expected. And
All of that is the background. So, to really go in depth, and I'll go more and more into this as the idea with this podcast is I need to do something while I talk. So that's why I'm folding my laundry. I'm at my salon. I'm folding my laundry. No one's here. It's perfect. I want my goal with this podcast, again, have a safe place for me especially, but maybe hopefully for others as well. I would like to eventually probably bring on like friends, family, people I know, people I work with, people I admire even. Bring them on. People that I think have healed or gone through tremendous, I don't want to use adversity, tremendous struggle? Tremendous hardship there, and has come out seemingly on the other side, or at least on the outside. We view it as they've gone through this, they've come out on the other end, and getting their perspective and how they did it, all of that sort of stuff, because I think that's a dialogue that is very important, and we as a society like to shy away from. It's always, we like to package things in a way to sell it. Everything's about commercialism, capitalism. Everything's about pushing things out, making it marketable to and profitable. And in a way, I think as a society, we end up creating problems and then bandaging it instead of actually going to the root source and pulling it, essentially, or fixing it. We just bandage it because it's a system that keeps on feeding itself. We know that. That's just where we are at. And I am a person who looks for the truth in things. I need to understand not just what I am feeling and my perspective on things. I need to understand everyone else around or who's involved. I need to understand their perspectives, their lenses, like the bird's eye view, the third person. I need to know things from every angle as part of my process, I guess, of healing. Maybe. Another thing, I'm making this because it's basically my way of saying that since 2020, but since, especially for me, 2023, my life has turned completely upside down. And people know that. Most everyone knows that. And most people, I think, would see all of that, what has happened. They know what has happened. And it's continued, too. This isn't just like one specific thing. Like, there have been several things that have happened after a big, huge main life event. There's been so many since, even years since, and it continues to. And I think someone would take a step back and look from the outside and say, oh, she is doing really well. She's doing good, considering. She's been through all these things, but she's doing well. She's making it, she's losing weight. She looks great. She blah, 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 blah. I say this because these are things literally that are being said to me. And I know it's from the best of intentions. I do know that. But the point of making this is to voice out, even if I'm just voicing out into the realm and no one's even listening to this. That's fine. That might even be preferred. I don't know. I'm making this because I need to verbalize that I am not okay. I'm not okay at all. And it's terrifying to say that, especially here in my place of work. I'm doing my best. I'm trying very hard every day. But I am not okay. And the point that I'm trying to make is that it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. And not only is it okay, the hardest part of all of this is that life continues to go on. Regardless, life doesn't care. Life does not care. Our society as a whole does not care. And you can feel how you want to about it. I don't know. I'm not here to even process, or at least not in this moment. I'm not processing how we deal with all this because it's a problem that's never going to be fixed. It's too big. But life keeps on going. There's nothing we can do. And I need to figure out a way not to keep going. That sounds very dramatic. I don't mean keep going in that sense where, and I don't want to even say that because there are people who are struggling to keep on going in the very serious manner. And I don't want to take away from that by even putting my words similar to their situation because it's not the same, is what I'm saying, if that makes sense. But that's just it. Everything is so extreme either way. It's you have to either be... It's hard to admit or say that you're not doing well without either a plan to get better, whatever even better looks like, or not failing and giving up. That's the opposite, but just giving up in whatever way you could mean that. But I feel like it's extremes. There is no in the middle. And that's where I keep constantly finding myself, or at least we as people don't. Everything a lot of times is so black and white. And it's really hard when you're someone who lives constantly in the middle and who's also just trying to get by day, if that makes any sense. So hold on, let me check. Backstory, which I'll get more into each episode as I decide what I'm talking about for each episode, as I hopefully keep on with this. But again, life is lifing. We're trying over here. We really are, but I cannot make any promises. I have no idea how often this will come out. I don't even know if this is something I'm going to continue. I ideally would like to, but I am a mom of a 3-year-old, a toddler. Behind the scenes, I'm just going to put it all out there. This is what's on my plate right now. Today is July 18th, I believe. Doesn't matter. I, right now, am a mother of a toddler, a 3-year-old, who needs to be potty trained. We are not there yet because This is my podcast. I need to share my life experience. My husband does not have a job right now. And I'm not even getting into any of it. But so that's going on. I am working as much as I possibly can. Hence, I'm pushing out all of this media and content everywhere I can. This is also my reminder that I'm really trying, hopefully, maybe, but you know what? I have to manifest this. So I'm going to make money from social media. I'm going to do it. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I'm going to do it. I'm pushing content out constantly because I am going to have another stream of income. So this is your reminder. Support your small businesses. Posting, sharing, commenting, liking, loving on all social media platforms really helps small creators, businesses, whatever. Fill in the blank. It helps. It does something. Your time and your internet interactions is a form of currency right now. So, I am doing this. I have my own business that just opened in February because I lost my last job. Very unexpectedly, very not great at all. I won't get into any of it because it does not matter. I worked somewhere that was not a good fit for me because I had to. Because of the last trauma with jobs. That's a whole I need to do a whole episode on jobs and just my trauma with that specifically. But I have a business that I opened at the very beginning of I know it's not technically a recession, but we are all out here being affected the way you would in a recession. So call it what you will. People are not doing well. People are struggling. People cannot eat. We're applying for assistance. We are going to food banks. We are doing everything that we can to just keep ourselves afloat and stop having to depend on, honestly, one of my in-laws. And that's not even, they've done a lot for us. And it's a lot that we have had to ask. And the sad thing is, they hold the burden of having to be the only ones supporting us because no one else will. On husband in-law's side, that's because I don't know if I'll ever touch that. Maybe. I don't know. It's very bad for me emotionally. It's very traumatic. And then on my end, my family, but that's never going to be a thing. That's never going to be a reliable, safe avenue we can take, ever. My family, it's a tragedy. It's very tragic because we lost our mom in 2023, right before my baby was born, and we lost everything with that as a family. We lost our roots. We lost who we are. We lost not being there for one another, but the ability to, if that makes any sense. And I'll get into all of that at another point, but it's money. It's basically money. My mom had money when she died. Money died with her, basically. And my family is struggling. They cannot help. There is nothing to help. They are barely making it on their own. I mean, they're not. Honestly, they're not. And neither am I. So then that's why we have literally one couple in-law. Like, we have a parent and a step-parent of my husband who we can go to and do help us. And we appreciate it. But it's a lot. That is a lot. Especially right now. So those are all the things I'm juggling. Oh, and I also work. So I have my own business that I opened in the middle of a recession. I'm barely scraping by. Husband doesn't have a job. I do not make enough in order to cover everything. So we're in the middle right now of figuring out how we're going to even do that. Somehow we make it. That's the weirdest part of all of this. Somehow we always make it. We do get help. I'm not even going to lie and say we don't. We do. We get help. So I guess that's how we met. Well, and then I also have a part-time job that it's not really part-time because I'm able to look at my schedule at the beginning of the week, go, okay, I have this day open, go fill that at my other job that's hourly, which is good. It's fast cash. It's reliable cash, honestly. It's not commission because what I do, and not even commission, it's just I own my own business, so it's a profit. It's a profit thing, if that makes sense. But then there's also, because I do hair, there's the overhead, the product, the color, and I love it, and I love who I work with and where I work. And I'm going to be here as long as they let me. Not that I think they wouldn't, because I try to do my share of things as best I can at the moment. But they also love me. I've known these women for, let's just say, a decade. About. And they know me. We respect each other in a good working environment. But that's all what's going on. And this isn't like, oh, pity me, like sad. No, it's being real in the only place that I can, because I can't say this to clients. I just can't. It's too much. And I don't, we were taught in beauty school, which I do agree with. Like, don't dump all of your, like, you can't just like word vomit this onto people. You can't, I've heard this, I've read a book that basically, like, you can't trauma dump, or you can't, like, just, you can't dump all of your emotions on to people. But at the same time, I'm a very intense person. Also, this is another thing. I speak in astrology a lot, so I will be using those type of metaphors in a lot of things to explain, because it is my way of explaining. So that's another part of this podcast. And again, me as a brand, Mercury Ascending. But my Pluto is intensity, basically. Or it's death and rebirth. My Pluto, as most millennials, this is a generational thing because it's an outer planet, and I want to say Pluto is the slowest moving planet. My Pluto is in Scorpio. Most millennials, Pluto is in Scorpio. It's a generational thing. Scorpio is the most intense sign in the zodiac. They go there. They deep. Sorry, Mercury retrograde. Words don't work. Scorpio is like the deepest of the deep. Like, deeper than, like, it's going to go there, and it's going to, like, see into your soul while it does it. It is doing the deepest thing. So having your death and rebirth in the sign of intensity, and in my case, it's in I have my chart memorized mostly. It's in my 6th house. The 6th house is Oh, I wish I had a chart right in front of me. Hold on. Hold on. Sixth house is day-to-day life. Daily life. Daily life? Six is your day-to-day life systems, routines, rituals. Sixth house. So, rituals, routine, day-to-day life. My day-to-day millennial, that's why millennials are traumatized. We are the generation of 9/11. We, every single day, we live in trauma. That's our identity. And that's unfortunately my identity. Every single day is another disaster, and it's intense, and we're pushing through. It is literally life and death every day. Like, seriously, it is. In a lot of cases, it actually is. Sorry, that faces to boomers and Gen X. All of this to say, it's very intense. Millennials are not going to most likely be able to afford houses. I mean, period. Like, not only is the economy just out of control, the housing market everywhere is out of control. No one cares enough to do anything about it at the higher up, at least not now. And honestly, I don't even think it's like once we do X, Y, and Z, things will get better. I don't think so. I mean, it's all been kind of like slowly building to this point. And if anything, it is kind of like, did anyone watch that Bailey Sarian video? Like, she is right. What are we going to do? Because the higher ups, they do not care. No one cares. No one is coming to save us. If we do not do something, that's it. Like, we are the ones. And I think that's another thing millennials need to generationally learn right now, is that we are the adults. I know it doesn't feel like it. I know it feels like we're still like in our 20s, like barely just entering the workforce, but that's not the case. We are adults now. We are parents now. We are the ones that have to make it happen. And I know, I get it. I am right there too. I am just trying to get by day to day. I'm trying to focus on raising my toddler to be a kind, caring individual, and I'm trying to break generational trauma. I've got that to focus on. I'm focused on like the future generations and generations to come in the future. But we also, and I know a lot of millennials are parenting this way and focused on these things. But if we don't pull together and do something now, I don't even think there will be a future. And that's the terrifying part of all of this. And this isn't like a fear-mongering. I'm being very real. We know the state of the world we are in. This isn't... Things are bad. They are bad. My husband today went to the food bank this morning. He spent an hour and a half, maybe even more, in line. Just in line. Yesterday, we couldn't go outside. It was a code purple here in Richmond, Virginia, and majority of the country because of the fires in Canada. It feels like, and I was raised religious, although I'm spiritual, I'm not religious. I am an astrologer. That's my form of religion or understanding. Anyway, and I believe in psychology and neuroscience. But all this to say, it's reading though like we're in freaking like Revelations. It's literally, you look outside, it looks like the end of times. It looks like freaking Armageddon outside. Things are bad. Things are very bad. And what are we gonna do? What are we going to do? Who's got a plan? Who's got an idea? Does anyone? Do we have any idea of what we're going to do? Not even just, what are we doing? How are we getting by? Like, yeah, that's like normal. Like, oh yeah, I'm just getting by. Don't know what I'm doing. Like, okay. But no, what are we going to do? Are we just accepting that this is how this is? Is this the life that we want? Is this the life that we want for our children? Because if we don't do something, it is. What's the point of us raising our children to be better people if the world that we are subjecting them into, not that it's, that's an argument people use for snowflakes. That's not what I'm saying, though. Not that the world is too harsh and they're going to be snowflakes and blah. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's more so if we don't do something about the structures that we are now in charge of, if we don't fundamentally like restructure the system, what are we bringing our children into? They're just going to be another cog in the machine. They're not even going to be able to do anything about it. And yeah, I get it. That's kind of where we're at now too. Is like, well, what are we going to do about it? We're just a cog in the machine. But I don't know what we can do. And what do I want us to do? Because if we have like, I don't know, riots and like complete anarchy, I don't like that either. So what do we do? I don't know. I feel like I'm like ripping off Bailey Saring's video. I'm not meaning to, and I don't even know how I got on this tangent. That is not what I thought I was going to be talking about. But maybe this is because my personal world, it's weird. They say you realize your own mortality when you lose a parent. And I knew and I understood. I'm a very empathetic person. Pisces sun and moon in my 10th house, of course, of public figure and career. So I'm an astrologer. But I knew what people meant when they said that. I could understand. But it is one of those, you just have to live in it. And I feel like another thing people don't really talk about when it goes through grief. We know it's never something that gets any better. We know. But I think because you see people eventually after, when they're grieving whatever, even some sort of trauma, you see people eventually like smiling and like, again, carrying on with life. And I think there's a common misconception that like, oh, they're smiling. They're out there having a great time. They're doing really well. They are healed or they've gotten through this thing. But grief and trauma, which are hand in hand, you're grieving because you went through a traumatic event. That's not how that works. And who knows, maybe I need my own, like, that's another thing. I need therapy on top of all of this. But again, money. And this also isn't me saying like, oh, well, I don't know, we need to have society take care of all this for me. That's not what I'm saying at all. I know a lot of this is my own doing in a lot of ways. Or just situations that I've put myself in, you could say willingly. And maybe that's why I don't talk about it. Because at the end of the day, when you tell someone, oh, well, you've put yourself in this position. Okay. So what am I supposed to do? And that's kind of just the answer I find myself asking a lot. What are we supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? But also at the same time, why do I care? Or why just because they say this is what you're supposed to be doing, who is to say what anyone's supposed to be doing? I mean, it's all just an illusion anyway. And that's the point of all of this. I'm done with the illusion. I can't do it anymore. I do it for my job, and that's fine. And I never finished what I was saying before. I was taught in beauty school, don't burden people with your trauma, basically. Or don't pour onto people like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, not great. Don't know how we're gonna XYZ. Don't do that to people. And that's a big thing too. When I am doing my services, I am in work mode. I am there for the client. They are the ones paying me. They are my boss in that moment. When they come in, not even when they walk in the door. My clients are my bosses. That is the work I am in. That is the job that I have chosen for myself. And that is how I run my business. And so when clients interact with me, when they come to see me, when they are paying me to perform a service, everything is about them. I will join in conversation about mostly light. Sometimes I go into deep things, especially as I'm going into, like when my mom was sick. I talked about that because clients would ask. And I mean, when you're in the middle of a weird situation where someone's sick in the hospital, you're going back and forth, you're also pregnant on top of it, people are going to ask. And I think it's normal to share that with them. And just like when she died, I told people I went into work the day after. Which, yeah, you could say, like, what? I know. In my defense, I literally was it was my last day before my maternity leave. It was that close together. To put that in context. 13 days apart. Battery's running low. So I think it's fine to share within reason. But I'm a Pisces. I'm just intuitive by nature. So I can kind of read the room and read when, like, I know when I can go there and when I can't. And most of the time, I just don't, since losing her and since being a mom, I don't know if maybe I'm not as intuitive as I used to be, or it's just I've had so much overwhelming trauma that I'm going through and processing that I'm still not even fully, there are layers upon layers, and there's some stuff that I don't even feel like I have the right to process. I'll get into that in another episode. But that is why I have this space. Because I need it. Because if I don't, I am going to keep all of this inside. And I have people to talk to. I know I do. I have very, very close people that care about me. And I love them. And if any of them are watching or listening to this, please know I am not making this to exclude you or not come to you with any of this. But some of this is just too heavy to put onto a singular person or even group of like friends or whatnot. And also, there's a lot of layers I could say to that. I'm a very face-to-face, and I mean, some of that's probably on me. I could probably communicate better with my friendships. I do know that. It's hard. It's just hard. As we know, as adults growing, and, you grow, you go different places, people live different places. It's hard. And also, I'm a millennial, and I'm stubborn and stupid, and I'm terrified of a telephone. Why? Don't know. Am I ever going to call anyone? No. Someone calls me, am I answering it? No, probably not. Unless I absolutely have to, I am probably not answering it. That is just how most millennials are. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's they terrified us in school with the whole don't tell people you're home by yourself as a child, you're gonna get kidnapped. Like, I don't know. But if someone calls me, I am not answering. Instantly I look at it. It's not, I think most people, or at least generations before us, it's more so like, I'm going to check because I'm going to answer this regardless, but let me check to see who it is. And then I can mentally prepare. Where me, I'm checking to be like, do I absolutely have to answer this? Like, and even then, if it's still like, oh, it's my mom or something. Sorry, I can joke about that because but if so, like, do I really have to answer this? Nah, she can leave a voicemail. I'm not dealing with that right now. That's just kind of where I'm at with phone calls. But with friends and people I love dearly, I can't, it's too much to bring to one person. It just is. It just is. It's too much. And I unfortunately am just someone that I would rather just put this out into the universe because it's just easier. But also, I find it easier to maybe just have this because I will say I'm very lucky and very fortunate that I have a few people, like, not a few, that sounds like not that many. I actually mean, like, I have a good little group. It's little. It's a little group. And it's not the people you would automatically assume. I'll just leave it at that. But I have people. You could call it my chosen family. But because there is one family member in there, that sounds bad. I'm being honest. The point of it is, I have more than one person that I would want to share all of this information and processing and thoughts with, of my inner, like, thoughts. And it's a lot easier to just say it into this void. Just say it once. Put it out for whomever to see, and then if the people that I would like to maybe see it saw, like, then I wouldn't have to repeat myself so many times. That makes sense, right? So I've been going, my thing says 43 minutes. I'm probably editing this maybe, so it'll probably be a little shorter, hopefully. But yeah, that's basically it for what I'm trying to accomplish. If you want to continue this dialogue at all, or would love to come see me as a client, make something about you, book me for a reading, again, dive into your astrology, your card pools, your life, I would love to. I'll post my socials here in the show notes. And yeah, this is my healing journey, my real healing journey. What it's actually like. This is Kristen.